Hey guys, this tutorial is just to get you thinking about how you're going to design your quiz or your tests. Because even though this is the test start page, even though it's very interactive and the students will love it, if you're limited by what your answer can be. Like you can only do short answers, you can only do multiple choice, you can do true or false. Um, you technically can do essay type, but then you can't put the exam on autocorrect because basically for everything to get a mark and for them to get the correct mark, they have to put the same exact answer that you've put in your question bank in your question when you edit your questions. You'll have an answer there. So it has to be exact or else they'll get it wrong. So you might confuse them in a way. So what I would do is all the questions where the answers will be a simple multiple choice or a simple one word or a simple true or false, I would put those on the test. And then any additional questions, I would actually go through them on the, uh, I would go through them one by one in a final unit called extra questions or extra test questions. And then what you could do is you can actually put those questions down in a PDF, and then they can print them off, and then you guys can go through them together. And that's the only way you'll be able to do it. So let's start the quiz. Okay, just to give you an example. So if your entire test is multiple choice, this unit this is pretty much made for you. Okay. Now, if you have complicated formulas and whatnot, what you can do is take the formula, create it in an image form, put the image of the formula here, right? And then ask them to solve the equation. Now, if the equation finishes in something simple like 2x plus 3 or anything like that, where it can actually be an answer you can type in, then you can do that question. But if the final answer is something too complicated for um, a simple um, a simple little question box, then you obviously can't put that question into your test bank. But what you could do is, like I said, you can create a separate unit and say extra questions, have them print off the questions an attachment right at the bottom, and then you guys can go through them together in a video you created. So that's another way of doing it. So there are limitations, but there's a way around everything with this platform. You're not you're limited on the test itself by putting short answers, multiple choice, true or false, or correct answers, but there's always ways around it. That's all I'm saying. So put some thought into it when you're doing these tests, okay? And really make them sweat. Like find out how long the exam lasts. I think the exams are what, 2 hours long now? And make sure you create a really good, difficult 2 hour exam. And like I said, as time progresses, you'll be able to add more and more questions to the question bank, and then you'll actually be able to make dynamic quizzes, which is actually a cool concept and a cool feature. So you can create a quiz or a test and call it and in the settings of the test page, call it a dynamic test. And basically what it does is every time you create a question, you would create a category slug for it. So let's say you've got 100 questions about uh, demand. So just demand. So the subject of demand in microeconomics, right? You have 100 questions on that. So on each question, you'd have the category slug. It's called demand. And then when you create this test, you can you can basically create a random test that pulls questions out of those 100 questions. So it randomly pulls maybe 20. You select how many questions it'll randomly pull out, but it'll randomly pull out 20 questions from that 100 question bank, and then you're done. You just you clap your hands and you just created a very interactive, very simple test through your question bank. So it gets easier. Once all the questions and stuff are in and you've categorized them all, uh, redoing courses and importing or exporting data and importing data to other possible schools is very simple, and that's how you're really going to gain traction and make most of your money is by just basically replicating everything you've already created by just plug and play. So, oh, Japan, save answer. Nope, too fast. Like I said, they won't be able to go through these this quick anyways. Now, the reason why there's a too fast thing is because it's not an error in the code. It's because this is going and this is going and the database just can't handle it. And there actually is a timer, meaning that this actually has a delay to it on purpose so that students just can't go randomly through it really quick. They actually have to read the question and put some sense to it. So since it was written by, I don't know, Mark, that's not even a name. Save answer. Oh, there's 7 questions to this. Okay, save answer. No, too quick. Wow, this is taking forever. Okay, so now everything's done. We're going to submit the quiz with 39 seconds remaining. So these templates here are going to give to you. All right, quiz results done. Now for some reason it's not showing any of my answers. So I believe this is a setting in the background that we can fix. Okay, so I'll look into that. Now ideally what you want is you want the answer to be here, and then if it's wrong they'll have the option of looking up the actual the answer and why. So you can actually put pictures here. So if you have complicated answers, so they're complicated formulas and whatnot, it'll be a picture. So this will be really spaced out. It won't be so nice and clean. And then it'll say marked answer wrong. Let's say they put 2x plus 4 was the answer they put, and the answer was 2x plus y or whatever. And you would have a nice image here explaining everything as to why they got it. And I mean, you could even go further. You can put a link to a page and put a video explaining how to do the question. I mean, the more time you put in it, the more care you put into, the more the students will love the course. So like I said, there are some limitations, but you can work around it with this type of software. All right, so put some serious thought into your questions. If you're all multiple choice, or you're all true and false, or you're all short answer, then you have no issues. But if you start getting into complicated stuff where the end result is a complicated formula or whatnot, then you might have to do a different approach to it. Okay. Thank you very much. And the next unit will be on how to edit your tests.